Hey everybody, NaMo here. It's Friday morning. Like I said, I took the day off kind of as me day, just to spend time here by myself at the house, relax a little bit. Of course, you know that ain't gonna fully happen because I want to do some stuff. This morning, just noticing after I take the dogs out, of course, had to go close the gates because my wife didn't close them when she left. But when I closed the gates, I noticed that the garden below the willow tree is getting pretty weedy. So I need to pull some weeds there today. Still got that little piece of old deck that I would like to secure in the ground. Need to get out of the sun because it's right in my eyes. Oh, much better. Still got that little piece of deck that I need to secure in the ground right in front of the side door of the blue shed where the trash bag is sitting. I'd like to get that secure so that we have a little step into the blue shed. The guy who runs the cleaning company at work brought me this 5-gallon bucket. It is full completely of used coffee grounds. So I will be spreading that out over top of my compost pile. I think it might be time to try and give it a turn. So I might try and do that today. I'm just listing stuff off that I know needs to be done. Might not get to it. Who knows? I would really like to start making the handrail on the front porch because the dogs keep jumping off the porch into the flower bed. One of them has already broken my mystery rose in half. I caught it pretty early and just shoved a bunch of rooting hormone in that break because it was right at ground level. Shoved a bunch of rooting hormone in that break, staked it back up, set it back up, and it's still growing. It's still happy. Nothing has died on it. So I'm pretty impressed by that. So I would, like I said, like to get the handrail put up on the front porch so that they stop jumping into the flower bed. I still got the pool area where the pool was to clean up. I got some of that plastic edging that I was talking about. I still got to tack it onto the side of the little boardwalk and then backfill. So I still got that to do. I've got that dirt to sift so that I can get the big chunks of that red marble rock out and put into the pile, and then use that as backfill, and then throw the rest of it in the flower garden in front of the deck. I'd still need to sink the railroad ties a little bit. I mean, I've got a lot that needs to be done, and a lot of it is stuff that takes a long time. So I don't know if I have the time to do it in this vlog, but I am going to try. I need to run to Walmart this morning. I'm very low on cash, but we're also very low on dog food. So I need to run to Walmart to get some dog food. And I looked through the app, and they do actually have some masonry line at Walmart for pretty dirt cheap. So I can afford to get dog food and masonry line. So I want to do that after I finish eating breakfast, as I really need to feed myself. I've pretty much laid in bed for the last 2 hours, just enjoying having a peaceful morning. Chrono, the dog that we are dog sitting, was in his kennel. Squish and Russet were in their kennel, and they were all being quiet. Ematep cuddled up on the bed with me, and I just enjoyed not having to get up out of bed for once. It was nice. Alright, so up here on my messy porch, I have taken a piece of trash cardstock, cut it out, and made a template to fit here in this space. And I have transferred it over to these bits of 4x4. I'm going to use my granddad's miter saw and jig to cut these. Now I could do this with my circular saw. I made all the necessary cuts or lines, guidelines to be able to do that, because I can't do one pass. I'd have to do two. I could do that pretty easily, but this being such a small piece, I would rather it not slip out of my hands and shoot off somewhere. So I'm going to set it in the jig and get the lines. I can't follow my hand with my phone. I'm going to get the lines all set up in the jig and use the saw just to cut through them. So I've got my two pieces here, and they will be my bracings in between these to connect the rails that exist to the rails on the steps. And once I've got that, I'm going to take this railing down. Actually, I'm going to take both of these railings down, and I'm going to make the railing in between these two. And yes, I will be using the circular saw. I might just use the miter saw just to get a cleaner, straighter cut. But I want to get these all fixed up because, as you can see, the dogs run around like crazy. And they tend to run through here and jump up onto the porch. Like I said, they knocked over my rose bush, which, as you can see, it is not dead. It's staked up and it's doing pretty good. They've already killed out all the stone crop. So I'm going to actually dig up that cactus right there. I'm going to plant this one right around here and put that one in the corner. Make a nice straight, well, not straight, it's probably going to curve a little, but a nice little design with the cactuses so that they're not just two random cactuses placed oddly. Okay, so I got these two pieces cut and attached. That one down there and this one up here. This one is really ugly, but hopefully when I put the handrail, the deck board that I'm going to cut down and fit in right here, once I get that put in here, it should be fine. I mean, you're still going to see that walking up if you're probably looking for it. I don't know. But taking a break now because these were a nightmare. They took forever to cut on that. So I got impatient and tried that. And you can see I've messed up a little bit. There's a bit of gap, but it's covered. It's fine. You're not going to know unless, I point it out, which I just did. But, it's fine. So I need to get another board down here. Get some of these slats up and down here. And then on this side, run the two across there. And then cut this one and another one here. And then the slats, and everything should be fine. Alright, taking a little break at the moment, but this is as far as I've gotten. So I've got the top and the bottom rail between these two posts, top and bottom rail on that side of the steps, top and bottom rail on that side of the steps. This is going to be real fun to try and clean up once all this is done, but I've got the lats sticking out there. I'm running real low on the screws that secure them, so I'm really just going to focus on putting them here first for now until I can get paid and then be able to go and buy some more screws. I'm hoping that I can get all of this done. I've got this little jig here cut. I don't know if you can see the arrows. That's how I know it's a jig and not a piece of trash. So it goes in between the slats to give me proper distance, so I know how far apart they are. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with here, put them all 4 inches apart, put another board back here on the back, leave these bottom bits open. So this is the board that's going to go on the back, and then once it's all done, put down a piece of deck board over top of all of it as a handrail. Taking a break because, I mean, it's not really that hard of work. It's actually pretty enjoyable. It's just, I think you can tell by how pink I am. It is hot. The sun is hot. The sun is burning me up. So I'm taking a break. I need to drink some water. It's just, that's really all it is this is starting to hurt. Now, stroke of luck. We've got this bucket of screws. And these are actually the screws we pulled out of these slats when we took the steps in the original rails down. So I'm just using them again. I will have plenty of screws to finish putting all the slats on all of these parts. All right, we've got all the slats up, the backboard on for this side, and down this side of the steps. I've just got to do this piece and figure out what I'm doing about, that. All right, I already showed you all these. That's all done. Now that's all done. So this, I just knocked over my screws. So this last piece, this last rung, actually kind of masks it pretty well. We just got to figure out what we're going to do about these deck boards, how we're going to lay them in and get them all configured in this corner, this area. The rest of it should be pretty simple. So, getting out here in the yard. Now, my deck and porch and steps actually match. It looks a little weird without the deck board railings, but I'm happy with it. I'm also incredibly worn out. I was not expecting to work this hard today. I just thought it was going to be a little bit simpler. I mean, it's not that hard of work. It's really not. It's just so hot and so bright, and I forgot my sunglasses and didn't wear them. And half the time I was under the porch, so I didn't need them, but then I'd be still squinting. So now I've got a bit of a headache from squinting. But the important part is the rails are up. The dogs will no longer be jumping off the porch into the flower bed, and from the flower bed onto the steps and onto the porch, things like that. So my rose bush is safe. It is now Saturday morning. I just finished mowing not that long ago, long enough that I could sit down and take me a little break, cool off and whatnot. It's still humid, so I am still sweating, but I mowed. I had even lowered the deck a little bit. My deck isn't set up by inches, it's just set up by settings. So it goes from 1 to 5. I usually mow it on 4. I dropped it down to 3. Brand new blades, just to see how everything looks. And I think it came out pretty good. I think it looks great. Right now, I have moved some of the railroad ties and strung up a line. So I've measured the line to where I want it to be and screwed it into the side of the steps and have ran it down to that stake. Now I know these 3 railroad ties we had straightened up last time. You can kind of see where that third one is going off to the side a bit. I didn't like the not so subtle angle, so I'm going to actually extend it down to that 4th railroad tie, so it's going to be straight, and then those 2 at the end will have more of a aggressive diagonal, just to kind of clean everything up. Now I could also do it down to the 5th one. I'm kind of considering that. We'll see how it looks once I put all these in, and then we'll see how sharp of an angle that is. But this is straight as an arrow at the moment. I've got this really tight, so I'm going to come through here and trench all this out to where when I put these railroad ties back, this level, or this line, will be right here at this corner, and it will all be in a straight line going down. It'll give me a better line to know how to grade out the sidewalk. This is going to be, I don't know what to do about this, because all this rolls in from this berm here. Like, it rolls downhill there, kind of plateaus here, and then rolls towards the house. So I don't know what to do about that. We will eventually figure that out, though. So all that's left to do with this right now really is just to trench that out and then start backfilling a little bit so that when I put them in, I can raise and lower as needed. And then I'll get them all in one straight line, all one straight level, and go from there. Taking another break at the moment to get some water. So I'm getting worn out, but you can see I've got this one lined up right with the string and right at height. Same with that one and that one. I have the fourth one left to go straight into this line. They are a lot of work. Definitely getting my workout today. I've been in shade all morning. This oak tree has blocked most of the sun, but I'm still pink, and it's not sunburn. I'm busting my butt trying to get all this trenched out. It's wearing me out. I'm gonna get this last one put in. Hopefully I don't have to dig it too much. Then I'm gonna backfill a little bit so that these are solid, stay in place. Then I'm gonna figure out from there if I'm gonna do that fifth one in a straight line or if I'm just gonna connect everything together diagonally. We will see. And once I figure that out, I'll let you know. Okay, so now I've got all four of these put in, trenched in. This one kind of bowed up in the bottom, like it's rotten a little bit. It got thinner, so I had to shove a bunch of dirt underneath it once I got it settled. I moved the line and then started considering, I know I'm going to be putting this one straight in line with all the rest of them. I started considering putting that one in straight line with all the rest of them too. So I've got, you can kind of see I've used a spud bar and kind of edged this grass in. This grass is the hardest stuff to dig out. It's what's making this whole project take so long, is digging through all of this to trench through, and it is wearing me out. So much so to the point where I just sat down on the deck and had a little drink of water just to cool down because I'd overheated again, and I ended up falling asleep. I woke up when Shell got home, and at this point in time, because of my little nap, I don't feel like doing anything. I really don't want to do any more of this. But I don't want to leave it just sitting looking like that. So I didn't eat breakfast this morning, and taking the little bit of time, taking the little nap, I'm kind of getting hungry, so I think I'm gonna go inside, try and find me something to eat, cool down, get to the point where my skin doesn't sting all the time. It shouldn't take me too long. It's pretty cold in the house. So eat, get a little bit more energy in me, because my arms feel like jello at the moment because of that spud bar. So do all that, come back, finish those two. I think my dad's supposed to be coming over sometime later with his miter saw, and we're gonna cut some of these deck boards and finish the railings on the porch and steps. And then that's it. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm worn out. So now that these ones in front of the deck are set, I can start next weekend sorting through all that dirt we dug out over there, getting out all the rock, and then putting the dirt back, filling it in front of the deck so I can plant these bushes. Finally have some permanent plants in front of the deck instead of, plants sitting in pots. So I'm gonna go eat, and then I'll come back. I'll let you know what's going on. I'm taking another break. Well deserved. Again, I got overheated, but I finally finished. At least I'm hoping finally finished with the spud bar, because there's hot spots forming here on my thumb and here across my palm. I've even got a blister right there. You can see all the pink. It's from friction from this spud bar. I really should have been wearing gloves. I mean, let me put this in my other hand. I'm shaking again. I really should have been wearing gloves, but the gloves I have such slick palms that I can't get a good grip on the spud bar while I'm using it, so it kind of defeats the purpose. It makes me work harder just to save the skin of my hand, and it burns at the moment, and it's not going to feel good the next few days, but hopefully I'm done with the spud bar. I've got to take the flat shovel, clear out all the debris that I just chopped up with the spud bar, and then set the very last railroad tie. And then, as far as I'm concerned, I am done for the day until my dad shows up with the miter saw and we finish off those handrails. I still haven't really heard much from him today, so I'm guessing we're still on for that. Sorry, there's a fly on my arm. But yeah, that's really all. I'm just going to continue sitting here, let my heart rate go back down, cool off a little bit more, get to where I'm feeling good to get up and use the shovel. I guess I will put on my gloves this time just to make this blister not any bigger, and hope that it doesn't, peel off, because that's the worst thing. Is these surface blisters, friction blisters, they don't actually blister up. It's just where your skin has separated from the other layer, and if you continue to work, continue to use that hand, continue to use that finger, whatever the blister is on, the skin will rip and it'll open up, and then you're kind of screwed with it. So when you start developing one, you really want to stop and take preventative measures to keep it from ripping. Because like I said, it won't bubble up, at least not while I'm still using my hand. So I need to put a glove on so it doesn't rip up, so that it can actually heal properly. Alright, so we've got the railroad ties all in, and I've already pulled up the string and put it away. You can see, nice straight line, no curves except for on this side, just because of the different depths of the railroad ties. I mean, this one right here, you can see, has a lot of stuff that really fell off of it and made it really narrow, so it doesn't really line up with that one in the back, but oh well. Everything else is straight on this front, which is the most important part. Now, yes, there does tend to be a gap, so I did actually make all of them go straight, because I didn't like the angle that one was going to make. It's going to be about like this. It just didn't look correct. Didn't look right. So I've realized that this is not, I have to fix this anyways at some point. That pile of rock, this pile of bits of rock, they will be used up and down this sidewalk piece. I will be placing them down the middle as kind of stepping stones. And down here at the turnabout, there's gravel all right here that all that grass has grown up in. So we're gonna have to remove that eventually, especially since there's, I think, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 railroad ties right there up against the fence, and everything has settled up against them. So there's a big drop off on the other side of the fence. So just to get everything leveled out and looking better, you'd probably be removing those railroad ties and digging the rock back, removing the grass and dirt from it, and using that rock for this sidewalk. I was originally going to get bags of Quikrete and pour my own concrete sidewalk, but that's going to be a lot of money just to be able to do that, because we used 10 bags underneath the steps and it's not as thick as I wanted it to be. I do still want to have the pad in front of the steps concrete, and then the rest of the sidewalk to be gravel with the creek rock stepping stones. We will see though, because it's going to be a lot more than 10 bags. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get all those bags of Quikrete to get everything poured and leveled and everything like that. I've really got to get some more concrete adhesive, construction adhesive, to be able to do those last 2 blocks that I found. I've got to cut that one and kind of glue it to itself, and then go from there on pouring that pad. So I've got a lot still left to do, but as you can see, it looks so much better already. I'm not going to be able to put the plants in today. I'm not going to be able to backfill it today. I think I said next weekend I'm going to be trying to sift out all that dirt, get all that rock out, and put what I can into this bed so that I can plant those. But I'm not doing it today. My hand is not feeling any better. And I'm not exactly sure when or even if my dad is still coming with his saw to do those deck boards for the railing. But if we do that, I will keep you updated with it. So just because I don't want to sign off just yet, I do want to let you know that if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Ask me questions. Ask me anything about my yard, what I do, why I do it, anything like that. Any questions you have, leave them in the comments. You can also get a hold of me and do questions like that on my Discord. The link will be in the description. You can jump in there. You can get a hold of me, ask me questions. And it's also set up to get notifications for when I post to YouTube, when I post to Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handles are at the end of the video, and the links are in the description. So don't forget to subscribe, share the video as well, and hit the notification bell. Everything you can do to support me. And I just want to thank you so much for supporting me this far. It is now Sunday afternoon. My dad did show up last night, had dinner with us, and brought his saw over, and we finished up these rails for the deck. I'll show you here in a minute. It's a little janky in some spots, and one spot we did cut the board wrong and put the wrong side up, but I was too far into heat exhaustion to really care. It'll get fixed once I spray the deck down with bleach before we stain it. So let me show you what we did. So we're going to start with the piece that is upside down. All the other pieces we turned So when we pulled these off the deck, this is what was exposed, and this is what was underneath. So these look a lot nicer. They're also not as weathered as bad because these kind of bow like this. So when we put them like they round up and over, they will eventually flatten themselves out over time due to weathering. But this one, we weren't really paying too close attention. We were almost in food comas after eating, and we cut this one first, and then after we got it attached, we realized it should have been turned over, but oh well. So we've got that one. We got this one beveled so it slides under a little bit. And then over here, we've done the same thing to where it's beveled and slides under. This is where it's janky because this piece and then this section it's kind of slapped together. It doesn't look the best, but it works. And I really don't feel like redoing any of it. It looks fine. It works. No one's really going to notice unless you point it out, which I just did, but still, it works. As far as doing anything today, I was planning maybe to water my plants, but we got some clouds rolling in. Weather app says it's not supposed to start storming until about 1 a.m. So I might still water my plants just to, give them a drink so they don't get heat damage. But the only other thing I thought about doing was pulling the weeds under the willow tree. But like I said, I had heat exhaustion Friday, putting these railings up. Heat exhaustion yesterday, digging in those railroad ties. Today's just a day of rest. I've basically have not gotten off the couch other than to, eat and use the bathroom, take the dogs out. That's pretty much been it. So it's probably what I'm going to do the remainder of the day. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for watching this video and continuing to watch the vlogs. I know they're not that popular, but I do appreciate you watching them because I do enjoy making them. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.